made of like, I don't know, it's from Amazon. It's like a ukulele-sized thing that's made of like fishing wire. It doesn't even strum, like you can't tune it. It's just noise.
You need to get him Guitar Hero.
Yeah, well, what you need to get him, so there's a company called Loog, Loog, and they just started partnering with Fender, actually, but they've been making guitars forever, and they make them for kids, and they're kid size. They have 3 strings, not 6, and they're actually tunable. I bought one for my nephew. They're great.
Oh my God, how cute!
And they're not expensive. Like, you can get the new little Fender kid guitars for like $170.
Yeah. In the realm of musical instruments, you're right. They're not that, but it says 3+.
Yeah. So. You need to wait a year. Wait a year before you do it. Let him keep playing his little tennis racket or whatever, and then a year from now, Uncle John's gonna hook him up and get him the right kind of guitar he needs. For sure.
I want to get him like guitar lessons or something, or take him to like toddler music or whatever. But all the classes around me are always at like Tuesday at 1, and I'm like, cool. Do these people not work?
Nobody has to.
Yeah. I fucking wish I could take him Tuesdays at 1. Like, what a joke.
Well, look, if I had YouTube at that age, I'd be so much a better guitar player now than I am. You know, like I started when I was 12, but we had to go get books and have teachers and whatever. And you have YouTube for instruction. So get him started as soon as you can.
I rebuilt a 1978 International Scout off of YouTube.
See?
Is that a gun? I assume it's a gun.
No,
it's smart. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was like, what is it? Amazing. That's cool.
No, they
do anything with YouTube.
I lived in Florida at the time. It was like the perfect beach car. I wanted one, and the rebuilt ones were like $250,000, and I didn't have $250,000. So I bought one and got on YouTube and found parts and did it that way. It's amazing what you can do with that.
That's wild.
YouTube's like great. I mean, even learning how to shoot, they're like going back to that. There are a ton of instructors that put out informational stuff on YouTube about like, hey, I'm going to break down this weapon. I'm going to break down a pistol. I'm going to show you what things are. Once you understand what things are, then you understand what the safety aspect is. Like, hey, ammunition goes in a magazine. There's no magazine in the pistol. There's no opportunity for it to actually go back, right? So now, all right, I've understood that. Understanding how slide lock works, how to clean it, like stepping through those fundamentals, just like anything else, you start to understand. It's like in when you go in CrossFit and they break down the foundations of a movement. Once you understand the foundations of a more complex movement, you can start to tie things together. And weapons are no different. They're really the same.
Is social media like YouTube or Instagram, is that a major pain for you guys? I know there's always anxiety about posting shooting or guns online. Do you guys have any issues with that?
Constantly. We're shadow banned. Just about every competitor in our sport is shadow banned. It's gotten better, I would say, over the past couple of weeks. But through the middle part of this year, it was almost impossible to find competitors in our sport on Instagram. You would type in their handle and you wouldn't be able to find them unless you typed in their complete handle. So like if I went and I typed in make right now, I'd be able to find your IG page. But if you 6 months ago went and typed in the tactical, it wouldn't show up until you typed out games. It was bad for a while, and that stagnated our growth this year for sure. Instagram at some point this year changed their policy on weapons, and they started declaring kind of everything that included. I mean, even down to LARPing. Do you guys know what LARPing is?
Oh yeah,
yes, of course. Yeah. We're big nerds.
Right. So like that lightning bolt, like that old school thing, like that video today would have been banned because there were people with swords in it. There's when people don't understand something, they tend to demonize it, right? It's like, I don't know what this is, so I don't like it. And I think that's a lot of what happens in the firearm industry. When there's a car accident that involves a drunk driver, they blame the drunk driver. They don't blame the alcohol. And I think that's kind of a misconception when it comes to things that happen when firearms are involved. They blame the firearm instead of the person that perpetuated the act. And to me, that it's a nonsensical approach. I understand it's a reaction. People want to solve problems. People don't want things to happen. They don't want shootings to happen. Neither do I. I don't want that to happen. Nobody does. I don't think anybody in their right mind does. But it's like putting a Band-Aid fix over a permanent problem. I mean, and this is not a political thing. I'm not a political human, but I do believe in the protection of the Second Amendment. I think it's incredibly important to the sanctity of our country and the longevity of our country. And you see in so many different instances. And I have so many friends from so many different places that don't have access to firearms as a people, and they're oppressed by their government. And I think that's one thing here that will never happen as long as we have these rights and protection, freedom of speech and freedom to own firearms and the protections that we have that are served by our Constitution, is to ensure that we can continue to have the lifestyle that we have and believe in the things that we do and have a voice and have differences and be different people. It's the beauty that makes up this country was made because of the people that fought for it and continue to fight for it to this day. And I'm happy about that for sure.
I had a little bit of a laugh when I got to your event, by the way. I walked in the door and you guys got the banners everywhere. And there's like a real military feel for it if anybody ever gets to go, because there's a lot of camo and you know, they're weapon manufacturers. And then I turned, there's a TV in the wall and Newsmax was playing. And I'm like, I think people in this room probably swing right a little bit, just a little. I'm just guessing. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to stereotype. Well, gotta keep in mind, I was raised in the deep south of Mississippi, and my dad, old Roy, bought me my first gun when I was 8. And I'm pretty sure when Fox News came out, it hasn't been